The old chapel stood on the edge of Duskwatch, its stone walls weathered by time, its once grand stained glass windows now dulled with dust. Though the villagers still prayed there, few lingered after sunset, for beneath its sacred floors lay something ancient, something that had long been forgotten. Brother Orlan had served the chapel for many years, tending to the weary and the faithful alike. But he had also heard the rumors. The whispers of strange sounds in the night, the low, guttural growls beneath the floorboards, the scraping of claws against stone. No one dared investigate, for fear of disturbing whatever lay in the crypts below. Then one evening, a traveler arrived, seeking shelter from an approaching storm. He was no ordinary wayfarer. His garb was that of a warrior, though he bore no sigil nor colors of allegiance. His name was Lucian, and he listened intently as Orlan recounted the chapel's uneasy history. When was the last time someone ventured into the crypts? Lucian asked, his voice steady. Brother Orlan hesitated. Not in my lifetime. The doors have been sealed since the days of our forefathers. It is said that an evil was buried there, locked away so that it could never rise again. Lucian nodded, his expression unreadable. That night, while the storm raged outside, he descended into the depths of the chapel. With torch in hand, he pried open the rusted gate leading into the crypts. A heavy, unnatural air filled the passageway, thick with the scent of damp stone and decay. The further he went, the more he felt the weight of something unseen pressing upon him. Then he heard it, a deep, guttural breath. Not human. Not natural. Lucian tightened his grip on his sword and stepped forward. The chamber at the end of the hall opened into a vast tomb, its walls lined with ancient coffins and forgotten relics. But at the center, bound in chains blackened with age, lay a monstrous figure, half flesh, half shadow, its glowing eyes peering into the darkness. It had been waiting. Lucian knew what he faced, a revenant, an undying horror cursed to slumber until disturbed. It stirred now, sensing the warmth of living blood nearby. With a roar, the creature lunged, its chains straining. Lucian rolled aside, slashing at its form, but his blade merely passed through its shadowed mass. The beast struck back, its claws tearing into stone where he had stood just moments before. Realizing brute force would not avail him, Lucian reached for the small vial at his belt, a flask of sanctified oil. With swift hands, he shattered it against his sword, setting the blade alight with blessed fire. The revenant howled as the flames met its form, the sanctified weapon striking where steel alone had failed. It lashed out in agony, but Lucian pressed forward, driving it back with each searing strike. At last, the creature reeled, its form unraveling like mist in the morning sun. With one final blow, Lucian plunged his blade through its heart, or what remained of it. The chamber trembled, and the beast let out a final, echoing wail before vanishing into nothingness. The silence that followed was deafening. Lucian stood for a moment, breath heavy, before turning back toward the chapel. He sealed the crypt doors once more, this time ensuring that whatever else lurked below would never awaken. By dawn, he was gone, leaving only whispers of his deeds behind. And though the villagers never knew his name, they slept soundly once more, unaware of the darkness that had nearly risen beneath their feet.